Hello and welcome to Ladies of Another View, my hometown. We are coming at you from New Rockford, North Dakota. You're going to learn some facts that you may not have previously known about New Rockford. First of all, we're going to talk about the history with Robbie Lease. He also used to own Hanson's Bar, which is a little museum all in itself. We're going to visit with Mike Jacobson with North American Bison. They have a bison plant right here on the prairie. We're going to visit with Marty Larson. She's going to talk about the steam threshers. They just had their Steam Threshers weekend this past weekend, but it's an annual event and you're going to want to see it next year. We're going to visit with Deb Belquist for the Dakota Prairie Regional Center for the Arts. That's the building that we're in right now. They renovated an old church and they bring in live theater to New Rockford 3 times a year, and they also hold other events here. And then we're going to round it off with the mayor, Stu Richter. He's going to talk about the community of New Rockford, why you need to come visit for a day and maybe stay for a lifetime. My hometown starts right now. Hi, this is Mary Grainer, and I'm coming at you from New Rockford, North Dakota. We are Ladies of Another View on location, and with me today is Robbie Lease. Robbie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so excited because you're a big part of New Rockford and New Rockford's history. I understand that you were a bar owner back in the day, but you recently sold your bar to your son,
Grandson.
All right, so let's just back up a little bit further, though. Tell me what you know about the history of New Rockford.
Well, to start with, I was born in the New Rockford, but not in the city hospital. It was in the old nurses' building next to the hospital that was built in 1939.
Great. So you were here a little bit later than when your town was founded, about 1883, wasn't it?
Correct. Yep.
I understand that it was a railroad town?
Well, of course, you can understand that the NP was North and South Railroad. That was in here about in 1885, I believe. And then it's built on the river and on the railroad. So that was 2 things for us. And then in 1913, the Great Northern came through. Okay. And in 1913 is the same year that the building that I had at the bar was built. The building was built by a druggist. O.E. Couch was his name. Well, I don't know how long it was run as a drugstore, because that's out of my realm. But a relative of mine by the name of Pete Lease had a restaurant in that building in 1932. And then my father-in-law, I.V. Hanson, Irvin Hanson, got into the building and into the business about 1935. So I say that between his family and my family, we've been in the same building there 80 years or so.
Wow, that's amazing. And you know, that building itself is almost its own little museum right here in New Rockford. I was in there and I noticed that there were some paintings on the wall. Tell us about those paintings.
Well, my father-in-law was good with strangers that came to town, because he would talk to the people that came up from the south in the fall, you know, to do the threshing. Well, anyway, this Joe Breckenridge and my father-in-law got to be friends. And apparently he was at the bar, of course, when I was going through some of the old paperwork that I had after I got into it. I found a little slip of paper about like that showed Joe Breckenridge's name on it, where he owed $16.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm guessing that that was part of the program for the paintings that are on the wall up there. And the paintings on the wall are murals. The one of them is signed and dated by Joe Breckenridge in 1947.
So was he a drifter then that came off the railroad, or was he a thresher?
He was, originally, he was from Montana. He was a cowboy, and I guess, like I said, kind of a drifter, because he had been around quite a bit.
All right. So those paintings, over the years, you guys have done some remodeling and whatnot, but yet you've all had the sense to go ahead and keep those paintings.
Yep, yep. And one of the things that has kept it is we took clear varnish and varnished over the paintings so that we could wash the walls without washing off the paintings.
Oh, that makes sense, because of back in the day, you could smoke in the bars, which that's something we can't do anymore.
Yeah.
But that does damage a lot of the paint and the wall coverings, etc.
Well, and just plain washing it, you know, we washed the walls twice a year, in the spring and in the fall. I always washed everything down to
Sure.
keep it clean.
Oh, that's great. And so where is Hanson's Bar? Where can people find it?
Well, it's right on Central Avenue, right behind the bank.
Okay.
The new bank. The old bank was right across the street.
Well, that's a good location. So we only have a few minutes left, but you also have a couple famous people from the area. Tell us about them.
Well, Buckley, the astronaut, my wife told me, she said that I used to play with him out here on the sidewalk in front of the bar.
Oh.
Because there was apartments in the meat market upstairs next door. See, and Buckley's had a connection with the meat market, and when Margie was little, teenagers or whatever, or smaller, that she played with Buckley.
Oh, that's her claim to fame. So I understand that he orbited the Earth 319 times. He had 7.74 million miles and 4 space flights. And he was a colonel, he was a test pilot, and a naval flight officer, so right here in New Rockford, North Dakota. But there's also a bridge named after him.
Yep.
Tell us about the bridge, how that came to be.
Well, I'm thinking that they got a grant for some money to build this bridge, and that it was built, I suppose, 30, 40 years ago. I don't remember just how far back, but it was made to be a walk bridge.
And is that the James River? Which
Yes.
river? It's the
Yep.
James
Yep.
River that
Yep.
flows right through New Rockford here.
Yep.
All right, and then you also had Ole Olson. He was the 18th governor of North Dakota. He's from the area.
Yeah, I had no dealings with him.
Okay, it was 1933 to 34, so right before your time. And I understand he was a Republican, and he was the 16th lieutenant governor, but the 18th governor. But you also have Larry Steinbach. Tell us about Larry. Do you know anything about him?
Well, I believe that he was a farmer rancher out of town here, that he was a fairly big operator at the time. I think that he raised a lot of beef. But
So
that's
when
about all I could tell you about him.
But when you raise beef, you get strong and you become an NFL player. So he played for the Chicago Bears, and then the Chicago Cardinals that I've never heard of them, and then the Philadelphia Eagles. And so that's the claim to fame right here in New Rockford, North Dakota. Robbie, I want to thank you for joining us today, and thanks for sharing the history of New Rockford.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
I could tell you more stories, but some I can't tell.
Isn't that the truth? All right, we will be right back after this with more on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
My Hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by Bank Forward, Flower Center, Rock Inn.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Improve your home or business with services from Zaka Remodeling and Construction. Whether you need windows or doors repaired, replaced, or installed for your residential or commercial property, Zaka Remodeling and Construction can help. Our local and family-owned business offers flexible hours and over 10 years of experience in the industry. We are your local Pella expert. Pella is rated #1 in highest quality and innovation by homeowners across the country. Feel confident when you choose Pella and Zaka Remodeling. Contact us today for a free estimate. Zaka Remodeling and Construction.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the second consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. Travel the country with Trent on the loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the loose.
Now you can have the personalized forecast at your fingertips when you need it. Beck's exclusive Weather Insight is information tailored to you. Radar, weather alerts, forecasts, and videos. Download the free Weather on Beck News app. Search your app store now.
My hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by North American Bison, Columbia Grain, Haley's Auto Repair.
Lutheran Home of the Good Shepherd is more than a nursing facility. Our spacious campus in rural New Rockford, North Dakota has apartments, assisted living, and basic care. We offer support and compassion throughout all stages of life, from long-term or short-term care to memory, hospice, and even respite care. Our therapy services can help you return to the comfort of your own home quickly. Lutheran Home strives for the highest standards of Christian care. We are family taking care of family.
My hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by Community Credit Union, Ottertail Power, Invest Forward.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We are visiting with Mike Jacobson, and Mike is with the North American Bison. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I'm so excited because I've been to New Rockford a few times, and I've always seen the bison plant, but I've never known much about it. Tell us how New Rockford, North Dakota got a bison plant.
Well, it opened in 1993. There was a group of ranchers that decided to put together a cooperative, and they needed a place to process their buffalo or bison. And so they put together this cooperative, and we've grown from there.
That's fantastic. You know, you mentioned buffalo and bison, so please do tell us the difference.
I don't know if I can tell you the difference. It's the never-ending argument. I use the buffalo and bison interchangeably. A lot of people equate buffalo to water buffalo, which come from Asia and Africa and places like that. You know, North America is more bison. I grew up with the buffalo nickel. I mean, I don't know what the difference would be.
All right, and I'm not going to arm wrestle you for it either. That I'm going to tell you right now. And so I know a lot of it has to do with the Native American culture too. I want to say maybe when the Europeans came over, they called them buffalo, but it seems like the true name is bison, and up in Canada, they're known as bison.
Yes.
So, all right, so why don't you tell us a little bit about the plant? Like, how many employees do you have?
So we have 60 employees. So when it was built in 1993, it was built to do 50 animals a week. We're now doing 250 animals a week. And we're in the middle of a really big expansion project that we started last fall, which will basically double our square footage. So it's really exciting. It's it is true economic rural development. We're taking a company and we're doubling in size. We're building a distribution center, we're building a freezer, we're building bigger processing areas, really trying to make it a great place to work.
So it sounds like you went from kind of a mom and pop type thing, just a little co-op with a few neighbors that used it, and now you guys are shipping locally, nationally, and even internationally. How did you grow from a little co-op to, with a few farmers just doing it for themselves, to growing to such a big market?
Yeah, I don't know if I can answer that. I don't know. I mean, through a lot of hard work, there's been a lot of people involved. The company went through some tough times early on, as a lot of cooperatives do. In 2013, it became an LLC. It's still, although technically not a cooperative, it's still rancher owned. So I still report to a board of directors. We have a CEO. But yeah, it's exciting. We ship all across the country. We ship to Mexico, Canada, the EU countries. So it is kind of funny sometimes. I call it the little plant on the prairie, because we ship all over the world in this little plant on the prairie.
Oh, that's great. It's always fun to hear stories like that, success stories from small communities like this. So then when I think of processing, because I'm a rancher myself, and we have beef processing, and then we talk about the hides and the skulls. What do you do with the byproducts?
The hides we actually ship a lot to Mexico. We're involved with a company that makes a lot of boots. I don't know if everybody knows this, but a lot of the boots that you see out there are actually made in Mexico. The skulls, it's amazing to me how many skulls we sell. We sell a lot of skulls to people that make the European mounts, which are the white mounts with the horns and hang on the wall. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wonder if everybody in the United States is going to have a skull at one point. I mean, it's amazing to me how many we sell.
So a person can just call the plant and get their name, or buy a skull from you?
Yeah,
how does that work?
You can do it through our website, our Tender Bison website.
Oh.
But yeah, we sell finished skulls, and then we also sell raw skulls, because we have people that just want to do it on their own.
Sure. All right, so then how about some of the cultural parts? I know there's a lot of like the liver, the heart, and even the tongue. Mm-hmm. What do you do with those products? Is that something that, I know the Asian market, they enjoy some of those products that maybe Americans don't find as palatable. What do you do with that?
We sell most of it to pet food, honestly. So when you talk about those byproducts, or the drop, that's what it's considered. The bison market is so much smaller than the beef market. It's hard to put together huge quantities to be able to ship overseas and things like that of those kinds of products. The bison industry as a whole will process probably 75,000 animals this year, every company included. I mean, the beef industry, one plant does 8,000 a day. So the scale is a lot less.
Sure. So then when you talk about your plant, it is a bison plant or buffalo plant. Do you ever process beef through it, or any other animals?
We do not. We did for a little while when the bison part of the business was having a hard time. And we did process beef for a little bit, but it wasn't our forte. Sometimes you have to just do what you're good at and not try to spread your wings too far. And that's pretty much what we did. We just went back to processing bison only.
And so what is your best-selling product? Is it a steak, is it a roast, or is it burger? What are people asking for?
I would say burger drives the industry, but just like beef cuts, I mean, we sell a lot of ribeye steaks, we sell tenderloin steaks, we sell New York strips. Pretty much the same cuts that come out of beef are the same that come out of bison.
Sure. And so if a person wanted to find you, how could we find your business?
tenderbison.com.
Right on the internet, tenderbison.com. And so they can order products. So like a person can order it, or a business, like a restaurant, can order it. You sell anywhere from 1 pound to 1,000 pounds.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. And that's what's nice about small businesses and small packing plants like that, is it's a specialty plant where you can have that smaller order. Is there anything else you feel is important that you might want to add to let our viewers know about the plant? Leaves it wide open.
That does leave it wide open. tenderbison.com. I'm not quite sure what else to say.
All right. So Mike, I do want to thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate you, bringing this or helping the business right here to thrive in a small community like New Rockford. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back after this on Ladies of Another View on Back.
My Hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by Sendak Co-op, Dakota Prairie Regional Center for the Arts, Pheasanton Co-op Association of North Dakota. Welcome to the start of Main Street, the Main Medical Building located at 315 Main, downtown Minot. The unique shops inside offer body and mind healing, a safe haven for mothers-to-be, mixed martial arts, hair salons, massages, counseling services, and much more. Also, keep a special lookout for a brand new Jamaican-inspired restaurant opening this fall. Take a stroll inside the Main Medical Building and uncover the unique shops and experiences that lay within. Discover the start of Main Street at the Main Medical Building today.
We are rewriting Hollywood script for our kids. I'm pop culture expert Tina Griffin, and as a former Hollywood actress, I'm giving you a behind-the-scenes look at how today's entertainment is eroding the foundational development of America's youth and how to safely navigate this pop culture chaos. Knowledge is power. Parents want solutions. It's time to get the power back in your hands and reclaim the right to decide who and what should influence your kids.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Central Time on Beck TV.
At Service Bison Transportation, just give us a call to arrange transportation within our 7-county ridership. We serve a large area, including many towns, in the Magic City or even to the capital city, Bismarck. Door-to-door service for less cost of an Uber, Lyft, or taxi, for shopping, for dining, for doctor's appointments, for visiting. It's Minot's most convenient way to travel to Bismarck, within Minot, or anywhere within our 7-county region. Service Basin Transportation.
My Hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by Bank Forward, Flower Center, Rock Inn.
Lutheran Home of the Good Shepherd is more than a nursing facility. Our spacious campus in rural New Rockford, North Dakota has apartments, assisted living, and basic care. We offer support and compassion throughout all stages of life, from long-term or short-term care to memory, hospice, and even respite care. Our therapy services can help you return to the comfort of your own home quickly. Lutheran Home strives for the highest standards of Christian care. We are family taking care of family.
My Hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by G&R Grain and Feed, Loco Ketchup Cafe, Dakota Prairie Regional Center for the Arts.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Back. I have the pleasure of visiting with Marty Larson with the Central North Dakota Steam Threshers Reunion. Marty, welcome to the show.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you. All right, so I know this was a big weekend this past weekend. Tell us all about the Steam Threshers.
Well, it was actually, it's their 64th year this year. So it is, I did the math, 1958 was when it was started. And we start on Thursday for the show. It's not, the actual show doesn't start till Friday at noon.
When you say show, what do you mean by show?
I mean like where you can come and look at how they used to thrash in the old days. We have all of the people that come out and throw the bundles up into the wagon after they have gone by and
It goes into the steam thresher itself, and it kind of separates the chaff from the from the grain.
Yeah, they put it into wagons after they've cut it, and then on Friday when the kids start to come, we have school tours that come. That's usually what Friday is for. They take tours of all of the old buildings, Tiffany Hall, the school, church. We have blacksmithing. We have a craft show. We have old-time music out there. We have so much. We have rummagrout that's served all weekend long.
And what is rummagrout?
Oh, I learned because I made it this year.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a Norwegian pudding is what it is. It's cream, flour, and milk, and you thicken it, and it makes a pudding. And then you put butter and cinnamon and sugar on top of it.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, it's very good,
Yeah, and so you have actual blacksmithers out here, and they do demonstrations for the kids, or do they sell things, or tell us
both.
about it.
Dean Hagen comes up, and he's got another young man that helps him out there, and they show you how to make things out of metal. They heat it up, and then they bang it with hammers and different things, and they round it out, make really cool things. And that's how they used to do the rims and everything back in the day for their wagons and stuff.
Oh, great. All right, and so you have these big steam threshers. All right, and I don't know a lot about them, so I'm just curious. They're these great big machines. It's basically the first combines.
Yep.
Right? And so are they fed by coal? Were they fed by, what created the steam?
Yeah, the coal did.
Okay.
They would put coal. Some of them have wood. They're really beautiful, big. I've always wanted to drive one. Maybe someday I'll get to. So, But you feed the coal in, and that's what makes it go. They didn't use gasoline back then and stuff. That was hard to come by, and I don't even know if they even had it quite yet back then.
Right.
When the steam engines and stuff were going.
So basically these great big giants of the prairie creeping across the grain field and just making it easier. Before that, they all did it by hand with a scythe. Is that correct?
Yep. It was a great big instrumental part of our history.
Sure.
And we want to keep that alive to show people what we used to do back in the day. They had to have many crews, many thrashing bee crews, people working on these big engines and stuff going through. They had where they came out and they served you dinner and everything out there. It's not like you can just get in there, start it up and go. It was a very long process.
Right.
We also have a potato field out there that we plant every year, and then the kids get to take a potato home. This year it was so wet we didn't actually get it plowed up when we have an old-time potato picker that we use, and it's just really cool, and it's a great thing for the community. We come out and we pick the potatoes. We're giving back.
So the potatoes, then, do you give it to shelters, or do people who've been out there come buy a bag of potatoes, or what do you do with them?
We give them away.
You give them away?
Yep. That's a good way to give back to the community and surrounding areas and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. And so then when you have these steam threshers, how many are running at a time when you're doing the threshing bee?
Well, they have them running. We usually use about 2 or 3 of them, but it doesn't take much. We have a lot of them on display, and we have a parade every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The reason I said it starts on Thursday is because on Thursday at 10 o'clock we have a parade of tractors, and we go from different communities. Last year we went to Bremen, this year we went to Carrington, and they drive their old tractors, and then we have a meal, and that kind of kicks it off, and then they drive it back, and sometimes we'll go visit somewhere.
And so people make this into almost like a family reunion when they come back to their hometown.
Yeah, we have primitive camping. Whereas there's a generator and you park your camper, we have camping spots available. Yeah, people come from all over Canada and, you know, just all over the United States. It's really a big, nice deal.
Great. And you also have vendors, food
Yes.
vendors and craft vendors?
Yep, I'm in charge of the craft part of it and the toy show. So I put together, I'll send out a list and of vendors from the year before. We have a website for the steam thrashers, and I send out a big long list and we have them coming in.
Great.
Yep,
And so one thing that I have to clarify, I always say thresh with an E. Is it thresh or is it thrash?
Thresh. With an E.
With an E, it is with an E, okay. Because just with the different accents, we have Norwegians and Germans up here, you know, we all have our own slang, basically. And so you had mentioned that there was the Norwegian pudding. Is this kind of a Norwegian area, or what is the demographic when they settled the area?
Yeah, it was a Norwegian, yeah. So, yeah, we had about 50 to 60 craft booth vendors. And I do crafts, so I'm in there to do that too, so.
And have you ever had to cancel it due to bad weather?
We never have, that I am aware of, had to do that. Yeah, it's goes rain or shine. Snow sometimes too.
Right. And so how do people find out more information about it?
They can visit our website, the cndstr.com.
All right, and so is it free admission or do you got to pay to get in?
No, you can get a 2-day pass for like Friday and Saturday. You can get a weekend pass. Weekend passes are 20, day passes are 7, and 15 for the 2-day.
And where do the proceeds go to?
The proceeds actually help put our show on.
Great.
The wheat that we get, the grain, actually we sell that to help pay for the cost of the
running it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Marty, thanks for telling us all about the steam threshers. It is a big event, and if you guys have never been to a steam threshing bee, this is the place to go. Thanks again.
Yes. Yeah, we're considered the steam capital of North Dakota.
Great. And we will be right back after this with more on Ladies of Another View on Beck, coming from New Rockford.
My hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by Community Credit Union, Ottertail Power, Invest Forward.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to bruxnightguard.com and order yours today.
Come on in to Pipe Dreams, where we help make life a little bit lighter. Browse our huge selection of incense and candles. For natural pain relief, we have CBD tinctures, gummies, and creams. Or ask about our selection of quality kratom, a natural herb used for anxiety, pain, and alertness. Find all your smoking accessory needs, plus high-end cigars, pipe tobacco, and hookah, and unique posters and tapestries. We have the lowest prices around at Pipe Dreams, your one-stop hippie shop located on the corner of South Broadway and Minot.
We have always said, and will continue to say on this show, that it's not enough to just trust the plan. How can these people show their faces in public after what they have done to our children? This has been the reality in Mexico for close to 2 decades now. I'm thinking above that and beyond that, because I don't think these people give a damn about what you say or what my voice is.
My hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by Sendak Co-op, Dakota Prairie Regional Center for the Arts, Fessenden Co-op Association of North Dakota.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent in New Rockford.
Lutheran Home of the Good Shepherd is more than a nursing facility. Our spacious campus in rural New Rockford, North Dakota has apartments, assisted living, and basic care. We offer support and compassion throughout all stages of life, from long-term or short-term care to memory, hospice, and even respite care. Our therapy services can help you return to the comfort of your own home quickly. Lutheran Home strives for the highest standards of Christian care. We are family taking care of family.
My Hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by North American Bison, Columbia Grain, Haley's Auto Repair.
Welcome back to Ladies Up Another View on Back. We are at the Old Church Theater, which is also the Dakota Prairie Regional Center for the Arts. And I have the pleasure of visiting with Deb Belquist, who is the managing director. Welcome to the show, Deb.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You know, this is such a fantastic building. Why don't you tell us how this all started?
Well, it actually started back in 1991, as Stuart mentioned that I was an economic development director, but theater has always been my love. And so I kind of I was able to see how things kind of were put together, you know, funding wise and whatever. So we formed a nonprofit corporation, and we're a 501c3 charitable organization. So we started there, but it really kind of goes back further because New Rockford had Celebrations Inc. From 1957, it was formed as a centennial or Diamond Jubilee group. Oh. And so we had celebrations every 4th of July here since 1957.
You mean right in this building?
No, in the community.
Okay.
And so I grew up with that, and I loved that performing aspect. And so that was always my passion, my love. So when I was able to put it all together, we formed this corporation, and so Dakota Prairie Regional Center for the Arts started then. And we're a nonprofit arts organization, mainly involved in performing arts theater. And we do a lot of musical theater, but we're also kind of branching out into comedy and that kind of performance.
Oh, that sounds like fun, because when you are in a small community like this, you know, to have a comedian come into a town, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, so then the concept or idea of using this old church, tell us about that.
Well, we've been donated several buildings over the years, and we started out on Central Avenue in the Niven building. Just a little history of theater in New Rockford. It was a huge theater community. Back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, we had, I don't know, I think it was like 3 or 4 stage production theaters in New Rockford. And we were in a building, we were donated a building called the Niven building, and upstairs was the Opera House. And it was never usable to us as that space because it had been torn apart and whatever. But so that's where we started, in that building. Then, I think it was maybe 8 years ago that this building was donated to us. As the Methodist Church group dwindled, they were older, and there just wasn't enough, there weren't enough people to maintain it. And so they wanted to donate the building to us, and we liked this space because, as you can see, it's wide, and our other building was this long, narrow building. And so we started doing all of our shows over here. And so that's how we got this building. It was basically donated to us.
All right, and so I see that you have some beautiful chairs here.
Right.
Tell us about the fundraising capability, or what you guys did to get this thing off the ground.
Well, it started off, we had pews, church pews, and not very comfortable church pews, not to sit for a 2-hour show. And so we started a fundraiser, and basically, you know, we knew the cost of the chair, and people donated chairs.
In a loved one's name?
In a loved one's name, yep.
Oh, wonderful. How many does the theater sit?
It seats about 130. We have some wheelchair spaces and that kind of thing, but so we can go a little over 130.
All right, and so then tell us about the productions. How many shows do you have a year? How long do they last?
We do 3 basic shows a year. The spring show is about 12 shows of 12 productions, 12 shows of one production,
okay.
Put it that way. And then in the summer, we do about 25 shows. And then Christmas, we do around 12 again. So we do 3 main shows, and then we supplement with different things. Like in October, we're doing a fundraiser, an Oktoberfest fundraiser. And so we'll do some other little things. In the spring, we may do a little bit of a dinner theater kind of thing. So, you know, we try to do some added bonus things in there. We also have worked with the school and do some school productions and education kind of things.
All right, and so when we talk about the theater group, are these local actors and actresses, or do you have someone that comes through, like a tour group that comes through? How does that, where do the actors come from?
We usually produce our own shows. In the winter and the spring, we have more local performers. But in the summer, we have a lot of college-age students that are interning, or, you know, trying to find some place to hone their skills. And I like our concept because there are not many places that do a show for 12 or 25 shows, you know, and that's getting to be a little bit more what professional theater, the feel of it is, you know, to keep a show fresh for 25 times is interesting.
And so do the same people come for 25 times, or do you have other people from the community? Like who all attends the performances?
We have people from all over the state. Also, you know, they call, in the tourism business, they have a term they call friends and family. So you have family that are around in the area, but they have friends come in from other states, internationally, and they are proud that they can take them to a quality theater production. So they, you know, it's like, let's go to the theater in New Rockford.
Right. So, and so I also understand that you bring in buses of people. Where do these people come from?
Well, a lot of banks, you know, do tour buses that bring their people that, you know, the Good Neighbors Club in Jamestown, or Dakota Community Bank in Bismarck, bring every performance, they bring a bus. And then we have others that, you know, other smaller buses and whatever groups that come in.
And so then when you have these other, say they're students or someone studying the arts, where do they stay? Do they stay right here with families, or do they get a hotel room, or where do they hang out?
Well, in our buildings, in one of our buildings, we have a couple of apartments. Our artistic director lives in one, and then then there's another apartment that we use for our actors. We do have a couple of generous theater sponsors that will let us use their apartment. They have little apartments that we can use too. So, because on the bigger shows we need them. You know, we need some extra space. So we have like a girls' apartment and a guys' apartment.
Okay. All right. And so where can people find out more about the Old Church Theater, or Dakota Prairie Regional Center for the Arts? Where can they find more information?
So we go by DPRCA. And
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it's a long name. If we had to do it over again, we'd choose something different, but dprca.com.
Okay.
And we do have a Facebook page. We do a lot of updating current information on our Facebook. Is at DPRCA.
All right, and how about just ticket prices? What does it cost to get in?
Adults are 25, and we do 15 students and 10 youth.
Wonderful. All right, Deb, I want to thank you for sharing all that information about the Old Town Theater right here, the Old Church Theater. And I guess if you have never been to a live performance, this is the place to go. Thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And we'll be right back after this with more on Ladies of Another View, coming at you from New Rockford, North Dakota.
My Hometown in New Rockford, brought to you by G&R Grain and Feed, Loco Ketchup Cafe, Dakota Prairie Regional Center for the Arts. Beck News is your leader in local. Beck specials and live information for you. Original programming. Exclusive local sports. Beck is local for you. Uncensored topics and uncensored opinions. Unapologetic politics, where all sides are represented. Full episodes online anytime at beck.news. All in one network. Your leader in local, Beck News.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. This is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work.
The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work.
I'm interrupting this commercial to bring you my BOGO extravaganza. For example, you get one of my Giza Dream bed sheets and you get a second set absolutely free. Or my 6-piece towel sets. Buy one set, get another one absolutely free. Or get my classic premium MyPillow and get another one absolutely free. So call the number on your screen or go to mypillow.com and use your promo code to get my buy one, get one free offers and get deep discounts on all MyPillow products.
Welcome to Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. I'm your host, Wild Bill. The character and legacy of the American West comes to life. We'll strive to give you a glimpse of the rich history. I've seen the toughest cowboys in the state of North Dakota. I've had a front row seat to those whose passion has been the preservation of history.
Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust on Beck TV.
Lutheran Home of the Good Shepherd is more than a nursing facility. Our spacious campus in rural New Rockford, North Dakota has apartments, assisted living, and basic care. We offer support and compassion throughout all stages of life, from long-term or short-term care to memory, hospice, and even respite care. Our therapy services can help you return to the comfort of your own home quickly. Lutheran Home strives for the highest standards of Christian care. We are family taking care of family.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We are in New Rockford, North Dakota, and I get the pleasure of visiting with the mayor of New Rockford. Stu, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You know, when you think of a community, New Rockford, they just have so many things going for it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your community?
Well, basically, if you look at the history, we have a lot of community support. We have very good people that are helping at every opportunity. One of them, Debbie Belquist, is huge. She was part of the New Rockford Area Betterment Corporation when it started, which I believe was in 1991. And that's our local economic development. We now have a gal by the name of Amanda Haglund who runs it, and she does phenomenal. We have a great park system. We're very fortunate to have Dennis Naibu who runs that. He's in charge of the pool, which our pool is, I believe, about 10 years old, which was a great fundraiser for the city. The park board spearheaded it, along with economic development. Just a lot of people pitched in and worked hard and got it done, and that's what you have to do in a small town.
Well, yeah, because it keeps kids off the streets, you know, as far as it gives them something to do in the summertime.
You know, we got basically we got a great fire department, which is all donated labor. We're just very fortunate to have these people. We got a beautiful school. We had a $3 million renovation 2 or 3 years ago, I believe, and now they're talking about building a second gym. We have a Braun Memorial, which they've been using as a gym now. It's a community-owned building. We're trying to get a daycare system going through there. Just got a lot of positive things going.
Oh, that's great. And I know when I drive down Main Street here in New Rockford, you guys have businesses. You have everything from hardware to cafes to movie theaters. I mean, if you want to find something to do in New Rockford, you can certainly find it right here.
If you're ever bored, all you gotta do is join an organization. They will put you to work.
I believe it.
And lots of, you know, we just renovated our bowling alley, which has been owned by a local man by the name of Leroy Kruger for over 60 years. He's about like Robbie. They just keep working.
Oh, that's great.
And we just, economic development, just renovated it and rented it out now. It's a viable business. We got a nice theater, so we're very fortunate.
Right. And then you talked about Debbie. She is going to, or she visited with us about the live theater, and that's a big event right here in New Rockford and brings people in from outside the community.
They bring busloads, so it's great for restaurants, it's great for bars, it's great for this. It's just a good name to hang our hat on.
Great. And so you can't help but notice driving around town that you have brand new streets. Tell us about that project.
Well, a few years back we did the water system. Our infrastructure was in dire need of help. So we did the water system 2 years ago. We did a lot of drainage, differences in drainage. We renovated our water plant, which is just now finishing up, and now with our street projects. So our infrastructure should be pretty set after this, and hopefully, I know it's a challenge for a small community because it's a lot of money, but I think a lot of people are supportive of it, and it's going to look great.
Good, good. You know, and also you have quite a reservoir right on the outskirts of town. Tell us about the reservoir.
Well, we got a nice park out there right now, and the city keeps it up well. It looks good. We have great city help. It's just a good place to take your family and enjoy a day. There's lots of opportunities in a small community. All you got to do is come here and stay.
Right, and so I always say, come for the day to check it out, but stay for a lifetime. Now, I understand this is a huge hunting and fishing area as well.
Well, we're very fortunate to have Devil's Lake, which is a great fishing spot, probably the best in North Dakota, walleye, and we just a lot of, upland fishing, upland hunting, and lots of wild game that we can, the landowners are excellent around here to support people that if they want a deer hunt, it's just a great place to come. We have 2 very nice motels. We got whatever they want.
Yeah, and even not just hotels, but you have hunting lodges as well.
Yep, we do. We have 3 different places. We got Buckets, who rents a place out, and then also the 2 motels, which is an actual hunter's lodge. So
oh, wow.
Pretty nice.
And it is nice for a small community. What is your population?
It's close to 1,400.
Right, and then I did a little bit of research, but back in the 20s, it was 20s or 30s, it was closer to 2,000.
Yeah, I guess I couldn't tell you that. I wasn't around then.
Well, and I think a lot of that has to do with families. They were having 8, 10 kids back then, and now people are having 2 to 4.
But what we do find is in rural areas like New Rockford, a lot of people, the kids want to come back. They would like to raise their families here, and that's if they could just find employment. And so we're trying to do anything we can economically to entice those people to come back.
Great. And so would you say this is a good community for flipping houses?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's some of that going on right now. There's opportunities for building new houses. The housing industry is challenging, as everyone knows, but there's lots of open lots. We could handle a lot more people.
Oh, great.
Our school is ready for it. we're good to go.
And not only that, but you have a strong faith within the community as well. How many churches do you have? Quite a few.
I would say a lot.
There's one on every corner, I swear.
I'm saying 3 or 4, yes.
Yeah.
3 off the top of my head that are very good. Well, excuse me, 4 are very good.
Yeah.
Viable and operational.
That's great. And that's always so fun too when you get to a small community like this. There's always a church fair or something going on.
Oh yeah, there's something going on. There's something going on all the time.
Right.
If you want to, like I said, get involved, it's a great place to raise your family.
So I know besides the Steam Threshers, do you have other events throughout the year, like 4th of July or holiday events?
4th of July is huge in New Rockford. Our area, what do we call it? I can't even remember their names.
Almost like a homecoming, like a
yes,
old settlers type thing?
Anyway, they do an awesome job with the 4th of July, the whole weekend. Every year they do it, and there's always something going on.
Mm-hmm. How about for the holidays? Do you do anything during Christmas?
Well, it's pretty quiet during Christmas. Churches in general run that, and they do awesome too. We have a lot. There's always something going on. You know, our local sports teams. The school is always doing something. Our Brown Memorial, we have roller skating on weekends for kids. There's ice skating. There's always something to do.
Oh, that's great. And there's nothing better than small community to bring people together.
Right.
Great. All right, so where can people find out more about New Rockford?
Well, you can call our local city hall. You can call the New Rockford Economic Development. We have a living local app that you can download on your phone that lists everything that goes on in New Rockford. So please check it out.
Wonderful. All right, well, we're going to be right back after this. Well, actually, no. You are our last guest, so I do want to thank you for being here. And thanks for sharing your community with our viewers right here on Beck. But is there anything else that you want to add?
I'm sure I left something out, and for that I apologize.
Hey, that's all right.
But no, please come and join us in the city, and please come and visit.
All right. Okay, well, that's it coming at you from New Rockford, North Dakota. Come check it out for a day and stay for a lifetime. Thanks again.
Thank you.